I'm Pastor Horton. Welcome to this week's reflection. This week we talked about impudence, which, to remind you, is showing a lack of due respect for another person. When we talked about this, we talked about Proverbs 7:13, which is where a woman shows no respect for a man when her husband is out of town and she pulls him into adultery. One of the best examples of this in at least my own life is when to speak and when not to. In my life, I've struggled with this a lot. At school, I would correct teachers. At home, talking with family, I would interrupt people. Or at work, I would correct people where, the information wasn't all that necessary. Instead of that now, what I do is I ask myself a very simple question. Is what I'm about to say beneficial? It may sound childish, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. But sometimes that's the best way to live. Jesus says that we should be more like children in order to get to the kingdom of heaven. Children, they can be nice. If they don't have anything nice to say, they're taught not to say it. And at some point, I lost that. This week, as we move through our own lives, let's take time to think before we act. It might not be talking to other people that we have trouble with. It may be doing something for ourselves rather than others. Or we have an opportunity to do something that we just don't do. So let's take a second and think before we act or before we speak and ask ourselves, will this help others or is it only to help myself? I hope that this message inspires you. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share the message. Have a wonderful week. Happy New Year, and God bless.